Hi, our lesson today is on transforming trigonometric functions. Lesson objective. We're going to sketch graphs of sine, cosine, and tangent functions. And we're going to sketch simple transformation of these graphs. We have here the graph of y equals to sine x. If you notice, it starts from 0 and ends at 360 degrees. And the maximum value there at 90 degrees, the maximum value is 1. So we're going to learn how to sketch that using the graphics calculator. And then we're going to learn how to sketch the transformation of these graphs. When we sketch the graph, we can extend the graph. It goes from 0, one cycle to 360 degrees. We can extend it up to 1440 degrees. And if we were to extend that graph, you would see below how it goes from 0 all the way to 1440 degrees. So you can have the 1 cycle, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to show you how to do that using the graphics calculator. And before we do that, make sure you can sketch it without a calculator. To plot the graph of y equals to sine x using the graphics calculator, when you turn on the graphics calculator by pressing the button there, AC, you want to go to graphs. Graphs is number 5. So you press menu, and when you choose 5, it will take you to where the graph is. Let's start again. You have the menu there and you press 5, it takes you to where the graph is. You want to type sine x. Sine is in the middle there. You press sine and then you go and press x. Now you press execute and press execute again. It gives you the graph. If you cannot see the graph like this, you press this F3 where it says view window. Press F3 and choose trig F2. When you choose trigonometry F2, you see the minimum value for x is minus 540. We want it to start from 0, so we change that to 0. So it goes from 0 to 540, and the scale is 90. The minimum value for y is minus 1.6, the maximum is 1.6. You press execute again, and then press execute. It gives you the graph. If you want the graph to go up to 360 only, you press the view window and scroll down to the maximum value for x, change that to 360 and press execute and press execute and execute again. It goes up to 360 degrees. Now we want to find the maximum point. You see F5, it says G solve. Press F5 and then press F2, which says max for maximum. And the maximum point is x is 90 degrees and y is 1. So let's go back and get the graph up to 540. So I press view window. If I press the trig, it goes from minus 540 to 540. If I press execute, so it gives a graph from minus 540 up to plus 540. Now you can do G solve, and if I press maximum, it gives the first maximum at minus 270 for x and y is 1. If I press forward on this D there, press forward, it goes to the next maximum. At 90, y is 1. Press forward, it gives that. If I want to find the minimum, I press G solve and press F3 for minimum. The first minimum is minus 450 and minus 1 for y. Press it forward, it gives minus 90 and minus 1 for y. Press forward again, you get 270 and minus 1. We're going to plot y equals to sine x, and we're going to transform the graph and plot also y equals to 3 sine x. If you notice there's a 3 in front of the sine x, what happens to the graph if we multiply it by 3? So we're going to plot it and see. So the first thing I do, I go exit. We have y equals to sine x, which is in blue. And we put the next one, we come down for red, we put 3 sine x. So y equals to 3 sine x is in red, and y equals to sine x is in blue. And we want to plot it from 0 to 360 degrees. That means we start at 0 and at 360 degrees. So press execute again. And then I will go to view window, because now we want to make it such that we can see it clearly, everything from the top to the bottom. So I press F3. I change it. We start at 0, so I press 0 for the start. And then we end at 360. So if I come down, press execute, and I press 360. And then we want to change the maximum value. So it goes up to, we can put up to 4. So we can put minus 4 for the y value and maximum 4. So let's see if that will show us, and I'll put 4 there, and let's see if that will show us everything on the screen. So it's showing it to us clearly. So we can see that the blue one is y equals to sine x. The maximum value is 1. And the red one is y equals to 3 sine x. You can see the maximum value there is 3. If we put G solve, we can put maximum. If we choose the blue graph, if we press execute, it gives us the maximum for the blue graph. But if we want the maximum for the red graph, we can exit and we can select, we can deselect the blue one, and when we press execute, it will only show us the red graph. And then we can press G solve, press maximum. It gives us the maximum there is 90, x is 90 and y is 3. And if we go G solve minimum, it gives us x is 270, y is minus 3. And if we want to plot the two graphs together, we press exit and we make sure we select the first one. So select y1 equals to sine x, y2 equals to 3 sine x, and press execute. It will draw the two graphs. So in an exam, when you draw graphs using the graphics calculator, when you copy it neatly onto your exam paper, make sure you put these numbers. You label all the numbers on the x-axis, like 90, 180, 270, 360. You label the maximum point and label where it crosses the y-axis, and label the graphs clearly, which one is sine x, which one is 3 sine x, because the examiners don't have your calculator to mark. So you will need to write all this information neatly in your exam paper, and for them to see clearly what you're doing, and you'll get all your marks. Now it's your turn. For example, number 1, write down I the maximum value and to I the minimum value of the following expressions, and in each case give the smallest positive or 0 value of x for which it occurs. So you will plot the graphs on your graphics calculator and you'll find the minimum and the maximum value. And then you go on to number 2, number 3. And when you're ready for your answers, you'll come back and we will check them. Please draw your graphs clearly and be ready to send me a picture or a scanned PDF of your work so I can check it to make sure you've done them correctly.